It was one of those mornings when life felt heavier than usual. The bills on the counter glared at Emily Carter like silent accusations. Her old coffee machine sputtered its last breath. The refrigerator hummed weakly, and her 7-year-old son, Noah, sat at the kitchen table with mismatched socks, trying to glue together his broken toy car. It was just another day in a long line of hard days. Emily managed a weak smile for him. "We'll fix it later, sweetheart. Mommy's got to get to work." Work was a small diner on the edge of town, a place where the smell of burnt toast hung in the air and the paychecks barely covered the rent. But Emily never complained. After her husband's sudden passing 3 years ago, she had learned to make do with what she had done, smile through the constant ache in her heart. She was a survivor, driven by the love for her son. That morning, a relentless storm rolled in, turning the sky a bruised purple. The rain hammered against the diner's windows, and the place was nearly empty when he walked in. He was a tall man in a dark, expensive-looking suit, now completely drenched. He carried the weight of the world on his shoulders, and his eyes looked both lost and exhausted. He slid onto a corner stool, the worn vinyl squeaking under his weight, and ordered a coffee in a low, weary voice. As he reached into his coat pocket, a flicker of panic crossed his face. His wallet wasn't there. Looked up at Emily, a hint of embarrassment coloring his cheeks. "I'm sorry," he said softly, his voice barely a whisper. "I must have left it somewhere. I'll come back and—" Before he could finish, Emily placed a steaming cup of coffee in front of him, the rich aroma filling the space between them. "Don't worry about it," she said with a genuine warmth that seemed to push back the storm outside. "It's on me." The man looked surprised, his tired eyes blinking as if he wasn't used to such a simple gesture. "You don't even know me," she smiled, a real smile this time, one that reached her eyes.
Rod!
"It's just coffee. Everyone needs a warm cup sometimes." He paused for a long moment, studying her face, as if searching for something he'd lost a long time ago. Then he simply nodded. "Thank you. You have no idea how much that means to me right now." Emily didn't think much of it. She'd done the same for struggling students, weary truck drivers, and lonely elders who wandered into her diner. But there was something about this man, something in his sad, tired, yet kind eyes that lingered in her mind. When he finished his coffee and stood to leave, he paused at the door. He turned back, the bell above the door jingling softly. "You re the first person who's looked at me today without wanting something in return?" He said it quietly, almost to himself. Then he was gone, swallowed by the rain. Emily just smiled, completely unaware that those simple words and that one cup of coffee were about to change her life forever. The next morning, Emily woke not to the familiar hum of her dying refrigerator, but to a deafening roar that shook the entire house. The dishes on her shelf rattled violently. Alarmed, she rushed outside in her pajamas, shielding her eyes from a powerful downdraft. A helicopter a-reel. Honest-to-goodness helicopter was landing right in the middle of the field in front of her small, run-down house. Her neighbors peeked from behind their curtains, their faces a mixture of confusion and awe. Noah clung to her leg, his eyes wide with a mix of fear and wonder. "Mom, what's happening?" he shouted over the noise. The helicopter's door slid open, and out stepped the same man from the diner. But this version was different. He was dressed in a crisp, tailored suit, flanked by 2 serious-looking security guards. He looked powerful, confident, a world away from the drenched, weary man from yesterday. "Miss Carter?" he called, a broad, friendly smile on his face as he approached her.
Good morning.
Emily just blinked, trying to process the impossible scene unfolding before her. "What? What is going on?" she stammered. He stopped in front of her and extended his hand. "My name is Alexander Drake. I'm the CEO of Drake Industries." Her jaw dropped. The name was instantly familiar. It was plastered on the side of a massive skyscraper downtown, a symbol of immense wealth and power. Alexander continued, his voice warm and reassuring. "Yesterday I was coming back from a business trip. My flight was canceled because of the storm, and I ended up wandering into your diner. I was having a very hard day. I'd just discovered deep-seated corruption in my own company and had to fire an entire department. People I thought I could trust, people I had considered friends, betrayed me. Honestly, I had lost faith in people." He took a step closer, his voice softening with sincerity. "But then, you, someone who is clearly struggling herself, showed me kindness without asking for a single thing in return. You didn't see a potential opportunity. You just saw a person who needed a moment of warmth. That one cup of coffee reminded me what basic human decency looks like. Emily stood frozen, still clutching Noah's small hand. "Mr. Drake, I don't understand why you're here." He smiled, a genuine heartfelt smile. "Because I want to help you. You told me yesterday you worked double shifts just to make ends meet. So I looked into your situation. I learned about your late husband, your son, the mountain of bills you've been drowning in." Her eyes widened in shock. "You what?" "I know it sounds intrusive, and I apologize for that," he said gently, "but I wanted to do something real, something meaningful.
Oh.
You helped me when I felt completely lost. Now it's my turn to help you." He gestured toward the gleaming helicopter. "Come with me, just for the day. There's something I want to show you." Despite her hesitation and the sheer absurdity of it all, Emily found herself agreeing mostly because Noah was now squealing with pure, unadulterated excitement at the idea of riding in a helicopter. As they lifted off the ground, soaring over their small town, the fields, and the winding river, Emily felt a strange sense of weightlessness. For the first time in years, the crushing burden of her life seemed to lift, if only for a moment. When they landed, she realized they were in front of a restaurant. But it wasn't just any restaurant. It was brand new, with a sleek, modern design, large glass windows, and a warm, inviting glow. And above the door, in shining, elegant letters, was a sign that read, "Noah's Diner." She turned to Alexander, her heart pounding in her chest, utterly stunned. "What? What is this?" He smiled softly, his eyes filled with a quiet satisfaction. "It's yours." "What?" she gasped, her voice a choked whisper. "I bought the property and had my construction team renovate it overnight. It's fully staffed and stocked. You'll be the owner, Emily. A place where you can continue to serve coffee and kindness just like you did for me." Tears welled up in her eyes, blurring the impossible sight before her. "I can't accept this. This is too much. I can't." "You can," he interrupted firmly, but gently. "Because sometimes the smallest, most selfless act of kindness deserves the biggest reward." Months passed, and Noah's Diner became the beating heart of the community. Emily made it her mission to pay the kindness forward. She hired other single parents, struggling veterans, and young people looking for a second chance. Every cup of coffee she served came with a small handwritten note that read, "Kindness is free, but it can change everything." Alexander became a regular visitor, not as a billionaire CEO, but as a friend. He found a sense of peace in Emily's laughter and the simple, honest atmosphere of the diner. And she found strength and support in his unwavering faith in her. Their bond, born from a simple cup of coffee, deepened quietly and beautifully over time. One evening after closing the diner, Emily stood looking out at the sunset, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. Tears of gratitude streamed down her face. Her life had once been so dark, so uncertain. But one small, simple act of kindness, a gesture she'd given without a second thought, had completely rewritten her destiny. Sometimes the world tests our kindness when we feel we can least afford to give it. But this story reminds us that those who give anyway with pure and open hearts often receive blessings far beyond their wildest imagination. For kindness matters more than you know. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more uplifting content. We'll see you in the next one.